The perfect knockout is what makes boxing one of the most entertaining sports to watch. Over the years, there have been many fighters who defeated all odds against them and went on to deliver knockouts that granted them victories. But there have been boxers whose punches shattered skulls, their fists were like guns, their performance was like a gangster's. Today, we will be looking at the most gangster knockouts recorded in boxing history. Stay tuned until the end and comment down below which was your favorite one. This is Boxing Matrix. Enjoy this video. Sergio Martinez versus Paul Williams. Williams was at this point winning by points, so the only way for Martinez to come back was with a knockout. And that is what he did.
Good left hand, and down goes Williams.
I think it was a right hook.
Right hand. Williams through the left. Williams down.
He's not getting up, guys.
Not getting up.
Hasim Rahman versus Lennox Lewis. Rahman was a 15-1 underdog when he faced Lewis in South Africa, but he didn't look like one as he gave as good as he got through 4 rounds. In the 5th, he backed Lewis to the ropes, feinted, and then unleashed a right hand from hell that toppled Lewis and relieved him of his World Heavyweight Championship.
His own left eye, good combination.
Good right body shot to Rahman. I think Rahman felt that one. He's going to make him pay for that the right hook that he just got caught with. Oh.
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! He got Cannis and he's got him! Is it Oliver McCall?
One of the most brutal and awe-inspiring one-punch knockouts ever witnessed won lead-fisted Julian Jackson his 2nd divisional title. The favored Harold Graham, who was dominating, went on to push Jackson to the ropes before getting struck with a vicious right hook.
Tonight, Reggie hasn't got on his bike, he hasn't been running around the ring keeping out of trouble, he's been standing right in front of Jackson, actually backing him up for most of the time. And this is good stuff here. Using every inch. Oh, what a punch! I can't believe that. Never been stopped in his career, and he's out to the world, winning every round.
For years, Roy Jones Jr. appeared unbeatable. Then, very suddenly, he wasn't. He had never been seriously hurt, let alone stopped, and his lone defeat up to this point was by disqualification. So imagine the shock when they saw a single left hook from underdog Antonio Tarver end their fight in only the 2nd round.
Accepting the role of the leader in the counterpuncher's war. There's a hard left hand by Antonio Tarver. Jones tries to come back with a right to the body and a right upstairs and another right to the middle of the belly.
You know, it's interesting. I'm watching Tarver. He seems to still be giving Roy problems. Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
And down goes Jones on a hard left hand, and that is the first that Roy Jones.
John Tate was being groomed for a big money match against ex-champion Muhammad Ali. All he had to do was get by Mike Weaver. For 14 rounds, Tate dominated the challenger, but in the 15th, a desperate Weaver got home the biggest punch of his career, a left hook that put Tate to sleep.
Got that much of an edge, you can tie him up. I see some blood on the shoulder of Tate. That's got to be coming in where? There's a overhand right high on the side of Tate's head by Weaver. I guess Mike's nose is bleeding a little bit. Maybe what it is. Left back! Tate goes down in his face! Weaver hit him with a left hook, and Tate is down!
A knockout from the good old times. In this, Jersey Walcott was a 9-1 underdog, not to mention the oldest challenger ever for the title. Ezzard Charles was winning on the scorecards until Jersey Joe abruptly landed a massive left hook in round 7 that put Charles down for the count.
Walcott nervously taps his gloves. A desperate champion bullies him into the corner with a hard right. Charles is trying to regain control. Walcott senses his foe's failing strength. Now watch. Walcott's about to fire a left hook to the jaw. With every ounce of remaining energy, Charles attempts to beat...
One of the greatest one-punch KOs of all time, Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Marquez. Pacquiao was walking toward the 39-year-old Marquez, who was looking for the perfect punch. Once he saw Manny throw his hands, he let go of the big right.
Goes to the right-hand lead, right shot. You see that Pacquiao's got huge calves and very narrow the calves of Marquez. That's where power comes from. And here they are back into a war again to end the 6th round. And Tate went down. He hit him with a body shot. I don't know if he can get up. He hit him straight on the chin.
Gene Fulmer was, without question, one of the toughest boxers of all time. On the 1st of May, 1957, he went against Sugar Ray Robinson. The Great One had lost to Fulmer a few months before, and it looked as if the rematch might yield a similar result, until a deadly left hook ended it in favor of Robinson.
Smacking right hand landed by Sugar Ray Robinson to the ribs of Gene Fulmer. And Sugar Ray drops Gene Fulmer. 4, 5, blister this round.
If I lose, take my name out of the record books, sneered Walcott before his first bout with Rocky Marciano. Far behind on points in a grueling battle, Marciano finally did just that, slugging Walcott with a perfectly timed right, which instantly rendered the champion unconscious. Arguably no single blow in boxing history is as monumental as the right hand of George Foreman's. Far behind on points and short minutes away from both defeat and the likely end of his career, Big George finally got home with a right cross that crashed Michael Moore's chin and put him down and out. A bad blood rematch between Carl Froch and George Groves didn't catch fire like their first fight until the Cobra suddenly lit Groves up. George blocked the combo's first punch, but cunningly had his left hand down by his waist when Froch launched a weapons-grade right to the jaw.
Digs in deep, sucks it up, and gets it! Right hand has destroyed Groves!
Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's hardest punchers against Amir Khan. This was the unstoppable force against the all-too-movable object. Khan boxed well early on before getting caught clean by a picture-perfect overhand right and assuming the position.
In his 48 fights, Canelo Alvarez. Amir Khan with a different ring mentality, higher ring IQ, a tricky style.
Wilder has numerous KOs to pick from, like the time he casually caved in Dominic Breazeale's face or swung himself off his own feet while trying to punch Audley Harrison's head off. Let's go with the straight right hand that stunningly turned the tables on Ortiz, leaving the Cuban on the canvas looking around baffled.
Right uppercut!
What kind of a punch sends a trained heavyweight's mouthpiece flying out of his mouth and into orbit? Derek Jefferson versus Maurice Harris is an all-time classic for the reason you heard before. Check this out.
And now Harris goes down. Harris comes in with his hands down. Jefferson makes him pay with a leaping left, and you wonder if Mo Betta can get out of the round.
Here he comes back.
Harris showing gumption with that left hook to the body, and he lands a left hook. And now Jefferson wobbles again.
Can Jefferson come back? Can he stay on his feet?
Oh, what a left hook shot. No.
We are all familiar with the destructive power of prime Mike Tyson. In this bout against Pinklin Thomas, we saw him unleash a barrage of punches that landed on Thomas's head. Pinklin was not going down until his brain finally gave up.
He has to understand the key to winning is do it your way. There was a big uppercut by Tyson. And the way he's doing his way now, but he has to... And a right hand behind it. Thomas in trouble again. And now Tyson moves in for the kill. 2 uppercuts in a left hand. Thomas trying to hold on. Serious trouble. And down he goes.
Glenn Kelly versus Roy Jones Jr. Kelly wore a what just happened expression after Jones pulled off a jaw-dropping bit of showmanship. He stuck his hands behind his back, inviting Kelly to punch. The Aussie let a jab go, and the next thing he knew, he was on the floor, put there by a lightning right-hand counter.
In his 6th round, Roy Jones Jr. bumped Glenn Kelly with about 3 or 4 real good left hooks to the body. And then when he finally...
Sooner or later, for your talent will not carry you there because of the style of the opponent or whatever.
Shane Mosley learned that last Saturday night. Yeah. Once again, 3rd knockdown of the night.
Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison was a movie. Ray Mercer bludgeoned Tommy Morrison with a couple of cuffing right hands, which left him caught in the corner. And then, his opponent decided to keep punching. Rights, headshots, body shots, until he cracked Morrison's chin.
Tommy Morrison, he was getting away from the game plan to start working the body more.
Right, he wants him to go back, but he wants him to relax too. Like I said, he looked real anxious and uptight at the beginning of this fight, and that'll wear you out in itself, just that nervousness.
Mercer with 2 good right hands. And now Mercer on Morrison in the corner. And Mercer's all over him, and Morrison in trouble. And Morrison goes down for the first time in his career. And that is it.
That's it.
It is it. Over. Ray Mercer has won it. He's successfully...
Vincent Pettway's knockout of Simon Brown is one of the most underrated ones. Pettway hit the sweet spot with a counter left hook. Collapsing straight, Brown landed on his back, stiff as a board, and then proceeded to instinctively throw his fists toward the ceiling, as if reaching for something beyond his grasp.
Slammed head. Yeah, something's in the ring. Somebody's throwing paper in the ring. It's a wrapper. Let's hope nobody slips on it. The referee hasn't seen it yet. Oh, this is a foul fetch now. He may not get up. It's over, guys. This fight's over. He's not getting up. He is not getting up, Bobby. Out. It's over.
Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier. Marvis, who is the son of the great Smokin' Joe Frazier, went into the fight with the game plan of keeping distance with the explosive Tyson. Tyson did what he does best: unleash punches.
Tyson comes out slugging.
He comes out smoking like Marvis's father, Joe. Marvis must move or we're going to be out of here very, very quickly. Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight.
Vladimir Klitschko versus Naji Shaheed. Millions of fans awaited the match worldwide, as it was deciding the destiny of the champion's belt. The heavyweights had a 12-round match, which ended up with a tremendous victory for the Ukrainian, who delivered a shocking right to the head.
Amerikaner weiß natürlich Bescheid über die rechte Hand von Klitschko. Und da käme vielleicht bei Wladimir ein linker Haken. Ein linker Haken, denn rechts oben ist der Weg offen. Da fällt er. Da fällt er um. Wait.
Undoubtedly the greatest welterweights to ever live, Sugar Ray Leonard fought against Davy Green to score a knockout that would shock the world. After delivering an uppercut which Green survived, Leonard threw a combination that may have broken Davy's skull.
Sugar Ray looked a little confused there as he got into that clinch, but covered up. Now you see a little shorter range punching by the champion in white. Oh, a right hand. Most fighters would have gone down. Flush on the chin of the challenger. Combinations. Oh, and so long. Timber.
Michael Nunn versus Sambu Colombe, a not-so-famous knockout. The two boxers were having a hard time reading each other's moves until the better-prepared Nunn landed a punch that threw Colombe to the canvas immediately.
Colombe, their front feet will be nearly doubled
by the movement.
Nunn stepped forward for a moment for the uppercut, but didn't really land it. It's been a jabbing contest so far with the early edge to Nunn. And down goes Sambu Colombe after a major league left inside by
Andy Lee versus John Jackson. Jackson, who was unleashing his best power shots, was getting through Lee's guard easily. While he was busy throwing all these punches, he forgot about his defense. And that is where Lee caught him.
Because he fought in an older version of this Madison Square Garden. There was yet an older version of
I didn't see the first one, but I saw the second one. Is Jackson trying to load up some shots here? He's got it back on the ropes, nails him with a pretty good shot, and he staggered him just a bit. Look at that! Right hand, right back, and Jackson may not recover. That was a hard knockdown.
Jackson.
The fight's all over.
Pernell Whitaker was going up against Dios Bellis Hurtado in a fantastic bout. Whitaker was pushing Hurtado to the corner and landed a powerful right hand. He then followed with many more right hands before he was sent through the ropes.
Hurtado holding Whitaker's head between his gloves.
He's a young fighter. He's going to pay him back for that.
And he lands a left hand over the top.
Throughout the whole fight is that Hurtado's beating Whitaker to his game.
Oh, what a left hand by Whitaker. And he takes advantage with 4 more straight lefts. Arthur McCanny watching. And it's over. It is over. Pernell Whitaker rescues himself.
Mitchell Smith versus Antonio Horvatic, an unforgettable fight. When both of them met in the center of the ring, Smith unleashed a combo that shut down Horvatic's brain.
What about that? And that sends a message and sends his fans delirious. Smith is celebrating and
Arturo Gatti is a Hall of Famer, better known for his knockouts. In this fight against Joey Gamache, he put on a show for the fans to remember. In the second round, he came up with a combination that seemed to not require any power, but was definitely effective.
36 out of 73, 26 out of 43 power shots, several damaging left hooks.
This night is because of the reach. God is able to land these right hands from a distance, even at hook for reaching. He's also looks so much bigger than he does.
Yeah, he's got a 15-pound weight advantage. Every time he lands a shot, it's abundantly clear, and Benji Estevez isn't going to bother with.
And finally, John Ruiz versus David Tua. With his sliding, jabbing, and jaw-crushing hooks, Tua was emulating Tyson in this bout. Ruiz was forced to the ropes, where he began to attack him with hook after hook until he fell to the canvas.
He'll be getting up.
and Tony Perez says enough. Whoa! Well,
This was our list of the most gangster knockouts in boxing history. Comment down below your favorite knockouts of the ones we showed and the reason for it. This is Boxing Matrix. Thank you for watching.